Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about our lunge series, specifically the step back lunge. When we teach lunges, we tend to teach no foot movement first because people do lots of weird things with their feet, so we tend to teach a static lunge first. Then we go to a step back lunge. The point of the step back lunge is that 2 feet are flat, so you can make sure that they are both pointed straight ahead, and then step back with one leg, and then step back with the other leg, making sure that your feet stay straight ahead so that you don't end up doing lots of other weird stuff. I always teach in this progression: static lunge, then step back lunge, then step forward lunge, then sidestepping lunge, and things like that. We always go in the order of the most control of your foot position to the least control of your foot position. Feet pointed straight ahead, shoulder width apart, hands up in front of your body instead of down at your side or overhead or anything like that for now. Step back, knee on the ground, drive up through lead heel so that you're firing through your lead hamstring. Make sure that your next foot is pointed straight ahead. If you have to look down and adjust it, look down and adjust it. Step back. Shift your weight back as far as you can so that you get more weight in that front heel. Drive up. What we want to avoid for now is the close lunge where the knee is in front of the toes. That is an exercise that we do, but we consider it to be a more advanced exercise. If you end up in this position, squiggle your way back until you get to a generally vertical shin. Tuck your tailbone, squeeze your drop knee glute to tuck that tailbone underneath to pull the belly in so you can breathe behind the shield and drive all the way up. We're going to throw kettlebell into this mix now, and we're going to do it in 3 ways. We are going to do it with a goblet squat, bottoms up position. We're gonna do it with a bottoms down position, and then we're gonna do it in a rack position, of which there are actually 4 variations. First version, we're gonna squeeze our elbows to our side. We are not gonna have our elbows track out. We are not gonna let the kettlebell rest on our body. We're going to push the weight forward. We are gonna get our feet set. We are gonna step all the way back. At the bottom, lean back. If we are leaning forward, figure out how to lean back. Drive up through the lead heel. Establish that next foot, make sure it's pointed straight ahead. Look down if you have to. Shift back. Drive up through the heel. Shift back. Drive up through the heel. Shift back. Drive up through the heel. The point of that shift back is we are trying to verticalize our spine to keep our crown to coccyx alignment as good as possible. When we're carrying things in the real world, we tend to be carrying things in front of our body. Now let's do it looking through the window of the kettlebell. 2 hands underneath, look through the window of the kettlebell. That should be at eye height. Bring your elbows as close together as they can be and prep yourself. Step back, drive up. Step back, drive up. Step back, drive up. Step back, drive up. With the second variation, we want our elbows all the way in, and we are creating that closed pack power position, which we'll see used in many sports and martial arts. Now when we go to our rack position step back, there is going to be ipsilateral, contralateral, and when we change hands, there will be ipsilateral, contralateral. Each one of those will have a different load, and each one of those loads can be used to solve for a specific thing. Right now, for the point of demonstration, we are just going to put it in one hand, and we're gonna alternate step back legs. That means we're gonna be going from one side, contralateral load, to same side load, contralateral load, same side load. And then when we put it on the other side, we'll have the same thing. So there are 4 different types of core load for the 2 different rack positions. Get our weight up, step back with the opposite leg, drive up, step back with the same side leg, drive up, opposite, up, same side, up. Hand change to the other side, Tuck your tailbone. Make sure that you're not ducking out as you start to step back. Keep that belly in nice and tight. Find the ground, load the heel, drive up through the glute, step back, find the ground. At the bottom, take that second, shift back, load the heel, drive up. With all of these variations, bottoms up, elbows in, look through the window, rack and rack. That's 4 different things that have 6 different loading positions for the core. So you can pick which one you want to use on which day for which reason. So if you're going to put lunges in, think about that. How many different ways can I hold the kettlebell in order to change the load day by day? So if you're new to doing lunges, the best thing to do is probably the rack, because it's going to give you the most penalty for leaning forward and leaning back as you drive in and out of the position. So it will discourage you from tipping your upper body forward and back, which is what we want. We want your spine to be as close to vertical the entire time so you can drive up out of your glute so you can maximize that power. The point of this is, of course, to work on our feet. If your feet turn out and your ankle rolls in and your arch collapses, that's why we do the step back lunge before we do the step forward lunge. When people step forward, they can put their feet down in all kinds of weird ways. When we do the step back lunge, that front foot is in place already, and your body will end up wibble wobbling around the front foot, but you will learn to keep your body in a better position in relation to your foot before you start to move your foot. There are a lot of foot moving versions of everything, but for the most part, we'd like to start with our feet in solid positions so that we can make sure that our knees, our hips, our spine, and everything else is doing what we want first. If you have bad feet or bad foot position, then that's gonna go all the way up through the line. And it's fine if you're young. It's bad if you get older and older and older. If you're 60 and you have externally rotated feet and collapsed arches, then we don't want to be doing a bunch of walking lunges. You're just going to be beating the shit out of yourself over time and causing more problems than you're solving. The goal of training is to fix problems, not cause problems. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica.